Good morning and welcome to my YouTube. It's really good to have you on board, and I want to talk a little bit about YouTube's little dirty secret, or dirty little secret. It's about sex. I'm going to talk about sex and what attracts us to the internet. One of my inspirations for doing my YouTube, and I got a subscription of say 502, 503 people. Fine, not a problem. But my inspiration was a guy my age called Simon Webb. Now, Simon is a historical writer. He's written a lot of books as well. He was definitely an inspiration to start my channel. And he has I'll put links below. He has a channel called History Debunked. He's a chap who is a prodigious author. He writes a heck of a lot, and he has 247,000 subscribers. In fact, in some ways, by highlighting Simon Webb, it goes against what I'm actually saying here, but bear with me. He gives a short, pithy summary in his presentations, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes, 1 or 2 videos per day, fact-based, and an older man and a talking head, a bit like me, except I don't have Simon's prodigious authorship. He has written a lot of books. He's also written a lot of, as well as historical books, he's written a lot of westerns as well. And one could argue that he is a prodigious author. That's Simon Webb of History Debunked. Now, my next one I want to feature 2 or 3, and then I'm going to just summarize. So bear with, please. Eva Schubert, and I've put a thumbnail of Eva Schubert. She's an American, and she'd started a YouTube channel called Villains and Virgins, mainly around history, actually, with some music videos thrown in. She is actually a singer. She's got 23,500 subscribers. And to be fair to Eva, I'm sure she's a great singer, but she meanders through history. And to be fair, it's a decent enough walk through history with Eva. Some of her historical work on early medieval history is a little bit thin. She's walking a little bit on thin ice, I would say, especially around the early medieval period. She's relatively young. One could argue that she's maybe late youth, early middle age, and she's extremely, I would say, extremely attractive. And I'm sure there is the element there that is drawing in. And it would be really interesting to look at Eva's 23,500 subscribers and say, I wonder how many are men. And I was certainly drawn in by her looks. Now, don't get me wrong, she's not in any way using her undoubted charms and good looks to do anything else besides present her history and her music. I'm not saying anything there at all, but she's certainly attracting probably the male audience. And then here's my third one is a YouTuber new starter, and I'll put the link to all of these below. The Cross and Comb. Now, this young lady was a startup in 2025, and she has already just over 9,000 subscribers. She has a young, dreamy, historical, human social history angle with some reflective dream sequences. And she describes herself a woman with huge passion for the history of the British Isles. She's down home and folksy. She has a degree of honesty about her with a sort of spirituality type tone. Maybe she has a Christian perspective there. I don't know. But again, only starting up in 2025, she has over 9,000 subscribers. And, you know, I've enjoyed a few of her videos, to be fair. They look at aspects of history that I myself am also interested in. Now, I'm just going to give you 4 comments about all of these, and I will put links to all of the three people I've mentioned. The place of media and young women in particular. Now, it is a truism: sex sells. Sexual attraction. If I was making, not me personally, but if I was producing porno videos, I'm sure I'd have 1 million plus subscribers. I'm not about that. It's not my thing at all. But certainly, if you're young and presentable and you're a lady, a woman, it certainly helps with your viewing figures. There is, secondly, an underlying sexual element. How many males are viewing Eva Schubert's undoubted charms? It would be interesting to see a breakdown of male versus female. Now, please do believe me, it's not sour grapes here. Honest, it really isn't. I appreciate Eva Schubert's historical presentations. I haven't listened to any of her music yet. She's listed that on her YouTube as well. And she's primarily, I believe, a singer. Thirdly, Simon Webb's appeal is not erotic. If you see Simon, you'll certainly understand what I'm saying. Equally, Simon Webb is a very talented author with some very strong opinions that you may or may not agree with. He's focused on a changed Britain, and he will make his views very well known, very clearly and very succinctly. Now, you might not like Simon Webb's point of view, but it's certainly a point of view. Fourthly, and I'm not saying I've got this, but editorial and presentational excellence. I'm not a great example here. I'm just a talking head. I'm basically an old bloke talking away. The temptation is to put forward outlandish views on YouTube and to increase hits. Now, to a degree, I did this with my Scouse reviews on Nissan Leaf, and I got, 1,200 views straight away. So I think there is a very real risk there that we can sort of throw things in just to get hits. Hopefully I don't do that. Then fifthly, sex does sell. Men enjoy looking at women. There's no doubt about it. Men enjoy looking at women. I suspect many men are enjoying Eva and are attracted to her figure and her looks. Now, I make no bones about saying that. I'm an ordinary red-blooded man, and somebody like Eva Schubert is a very attractive lady. Sixthly, social media, and this is more important perhaps than other things I've been saying, social media is changing Britain, both politically, socially, and challenging the legacy media. It really is big time. So your BBCs, your Sky News. I'm not challenging, but I'll mention a couple of people who are. Talk radio is pretty much an internet-based and very professionally done. Looking at social affairs in Britain, and it avoids the prohibitive broadcasting tax because it is broadcast primarily through or only through the internet. Seventh, the last point, and I'm going, the future is bright with social media. You've got people like Konstantin Kisin. Konstantin is Russian born, and along with his co-presenter founded Trigonometry, which has gone stratospheric. And Konstantin is a very, very talented young man with a lot to say, who's looking at the social affairs and political affairs in Britain. Trigonometry, highly recommend Trigonometry to you. Secondly, and I'll leave it here, Winston Marshall, ex-Mumford and Sons musician, is challenging the orthodoxy. Again, I'll put links to all of these people down below. Just wanted to get you thinking and enjoy. Have a great afternoon, and may God bless you in your day. Bye-bye.